So transferable skills, I think that was what I was discussing earlier. Transferable skills is basically skills that you develop in one place, you can reutilize in another place. Zoom back. So we looked at this example where Usha developed certain skills to use sewing machines, which you can use it in a garment. Similarly, Upul has done treasurer, voluntary work as a treasurer in the social service club, and maybe when there was a vacancy for an assistant accountant or a junior accountant, he was able to transfer the skills he developed there. So the point I was emphasizing is now when you're at school, normally you involved in many club activities, you involved in many competitions. So in all those situations, what happens is one thing is we participate in those things for the sake of participating and getting some appreciation. But the most important part is to develop some skills. Now, when you come to A level, particularly, even in O level, you might have certain assignments. So when it comes to A level, I think you have two types of assignments, individual and group. So sometimes people look at it as a burden, but the important skills you develop when you're doing a assignment is mainly a rehearsal for something which you might be doing at the master's level. You know, when you come to master's level, you have to select a topic, and whether it is MBA, MSc, whatever it is, right? You have to select a research topic and then read books and collect information. You have to compile them in a report in a nice structure with images and things like that. So that kind of a skill you're developing, that organizing skills you're developing when you are at the A level, right? So this is again another example of transferable skills, things that you can use whatever you have learned from school. Right. So like that, they are asking some more other examples for you to guess. So Sunil's father is a caterer. He has assisted his father to prepare food, arrange the tables, and serve food. For what type of jobs can he transfer his skills? Any guess? Very simple hint. Maybe a chef, right? Maybe a chef or a hotel manager. Most likely, hotel manager or a senior person at the hotel, right? Who knows about all about restaurants and foods. Okay. Another one, Ashoka has done voluntary work as a member of the hospital maintenance committee of the social service club. She has cleaned the hospital wards, helped the patients who needed assistance, helped the hospital staff to serve food for the patients, and helped the pharmacist to distribute medicines prescribed by the doctors. All she has done as a volunteer. So easily you can guess she can become a nurse, or she can become a head nurse, something like that, right? Because she already has the experience gained through these avenues. Gathering and organizing information. Now, when you're searching for a work, some of the high-level information you may need to gather about that role. So study the following list of items. They will help you to achieve your employment requirement as a management accountancy student. So this is generally, specifically for this type of category. One thing you might have to look is what kind of vacancies are available for this under this category. What kind of qualifications they're expecting. Experience. What are the experiences they're looking? If you select a particular job role, are there any opportunities for advancement? That means, can you go step further or promote? Can you get further promoted, or is there a more learning experience involved? Is the job secure in any kind of situations? Like at least it should be able to survive for many years. Are there any opportunities for training? That means like for you to learn something, or it could be the other way around as well. Like if you are a mentor kind of a person, you may look into opportunity where you want to teach others or train others. Right? So either way you can take that meaning. Future employment prospects. That means when you go into this particular job role, if there is there a way that you can shift to another company with the skills you develop here? What are the salary scales? Non-monetary benefits. This is all about allowances and facility they have given, flexibilities, and most importantly, the financial position of the company, because we have to be aware whether this company can go a long way. Who are the board of directors? Credibility of the board. Right? How many people in the board are like involved in these different conferences, or do they have reputation, respect by the society, or maybe the country as a whole, something like that. So a lot of things you can look into that board of directors. You can check the organizational structure, whether it is a hierarchical one, whether it is a flat model, what it is, how things work. You have to have an understanding. Whether the business is stable, what are the company policies, advertising program. So this is something extra. But most of the answers for these questions, maybe some you can find before you apply for a job and decide. Some of them you can ask it during the interview. When you are at the interview, you can ask especially things like 9, maybe 12, right? 14. So these things you can ask during the interview, because sometimes it might not be visible outside. So maybe through an advertisement we can't get that information. Okay. Yes, let me skip that. So among that list, you will surely list number 7, future employment prospects. How are you going to find this information? Some information you may be able to find at the interview. So that is what I discussed, what are they, and some information you may find only after you join the firm, what are they, after you have joined. So most likely the board of directors and all, maybe you will learn only after you go inside sometimes. In addition to the newspaper advertisements, there are many other means of getting information about employment prospects. Here are some of them. Right? So what they're telling is, now when you're searching for a job, apart from newspaper advertisements, there are many other places you can get an idea about a particular job role, or maybe an idea about a particular company, workplace. So here are some things listed. How to find a suitable employer. Starting with personal contacts, like you can rely on people close to you or who are working in some big companies or different companies. You can get an idea through them because they already have some experience in the field. You can read newspapers, a lot of articles, lot of financial articles. I mean, whatever the domain-oriented articles are coming, then you can read about how different companies are performing. That is another way of understanding, or even through advertisements. Sometimes when you see a lot of advertisements, you can sometimes anticipate they're doing good, right? Maybe because if they are able to pay a lot for advertisement, means that companies having a good financial strength, most likely. Also, you can search the internet, you can read government gazettes, news bulletins, TV, radio, different job vacancies. So today's world, I think in Sri Lanka particularly, you can rely on newspapers such as Sunday Times, Sunday Observer. There are every Sunday there are a lot of vacancies published, and a lot of articles also for the relevant field is published there. Apart from that, if you want to know about job vacancies, yes, again those papers have those advertisements for that. Plus, you can rely on online websites. So if you visit, how many of you know a website? Can you let me know on the chat? Any websites you know? The chat, or you can unmute and tell us. Any online job platforms you know that is popular in Sri Lanka? No idea? Okay, I'll put the question in a different way. Now I know one or two of you are working here, right? How did you find your job? What is the way you found your job?
Top jobs.
Okay, you went through Top Jobs or?
Yes.
Okay. So Top Jobs is the most popular one in Sri Lanka. Here you can see under different categories you click, you get information. Or else if you want to search for particular roles available, you can just type it there, type the keyword there and search. So it will list out irrespective of the sections. So this is a very popular site. I think still many people rely on Top Jobs totally. Every day there is a new vacancy. Yes, LinkedIn is another place, of course. So if you are going to LinkedIn, you have to have your LinkedIn profile properly organized. I hope all of you have done. If not, better have it done, and also get connected with people. You can easily search certain people under certain categories. And once you get connected, automatically you will get suggestions on who are the other people you can. Sometimes it may lead up to company CEOs also. And who knows, by chance, like if somebody CEO happens to see your profile and impressed with it, they might send a message and recruit you. So LinkedIn, as suggested, is a very good place. So very important thing is having all these things, at least your experience, your skills, you have to have it filled and ready. It should be ready in hand. Then only somebody who is visiting can easily go and get involved, and they can take a decision. Also, one thing in LinkedIn is it's good to have recommendations from people, or maybe it's not about friends, it's about co-workers. Maybe most likely a senior person or maybe a person who worked with you, who can give a recommendation that will also give you give a good impression, right, for the employer who is coming to visit your profile. So this is one place. Top Jobs is one place. So under LinkedIn, I think if you click on jobs, you can browse for a lot of things here. You can search by title, skill, or company. Some people might be interested in particular companies only, and you can go and do. And to get more opportunities on jobs, sometimes you may have to subscribe, right? So you can go with the free account, or you have to go with the premium account. Another one is there, Rakia.lk. This is also a little bit popular, but not popular as Top Jobs. But still, this is a good platform where you can, like search for jobs. Okay, it comes through location by location. Yeah, similar filters you can search and get some idea here later. Yes, so that says how you can get information about companies. So briefly describing some of these here. So in its personal context, they are very important when finding a job. If you know someone in an establishment, you will be able to provide you the necessary information in advance about the vacancies. So that depending on the urgency, you may be able to get a placement even before it is advertised in the newspapers. The following are such personal contexts: a relation holding a responsible position in a company, a friend who is a personal manager, having close relationship with the other HR managers, a colleague who knows about your skills and abilities, one of your early employees who has a high regard for you, a friend or a relation having similar qualification as yours will recommend you to his employer when he wishes to resign or retire from his job. These are the most likely ways, quickest ways of getting into an interview, right? Rather than applying and going. But still, you need to have a proper CV and resume. That's very important. What I'm saying is, in most companies, this is what they do. Even as a former manager of my company, this is what I mostly did. Like, although before I tried to publish an advertisement for the company, like this vacancy is there, I try to reach out to to my contacts and see if there are any known people, because it's better to have known people than unknown people. So known people, we may know their skills, we know their strengths and weaknesses. So based on that, we can decide whether that person is suitable for the job or not. So like that, we try to find out like through recommendations basically. Now, even I was recruited as a senior software engineer in my previous company back in 2013 uh, through a friend, basically something like this kind of a scenario. He was not a personal manager; he was another software engineer. So he recommended my CV to his general manager, and through that I was called for the interview. And after that, I had to face 2 or 3 tests, and I succeeded. Again, with the recommendation of my friend, I was able to get a land into the job and later get promoted unexpectedly. So that's how when chances are there, it's most likely that's the easiest way of going. So that this is why it's important, even in LinkedIn, why it's important to have you can connect with the top management, so they will also know about you, uh, making yourself visible to others. They will get an idea. Right. So these are some other ways they are just asking recommendations. The other means of understanding about the job is newspaper advertisements. Most of the daily and weekend papers have full-page advertisements for local and foreign employment opportunities, as I mentioned. It is one of the popular methods of attracting suitable personnel to fill vacancies. Okay. Let me skip that further. So similar thing they are just asking. Online services such as these job portals you saw, or maybe there are job factories. I mean, we say job recruiting firms. That means a company may not directly publish the advertisement. They will give the recruitment work to a third party company. That third party company will contact you and conduct the interview, and they will ensure whether you are suitable for the company or not. So that kind of thing also happens, right? Now, for example, if I can show you some simple examples under top jobs, let me click under IT. Now, if you look at some of these names here, these are real companies. I mean, directly the companies have uh, published advertisement. I'll show you one place. Here, for example, Manpower Sri Lanka. Now, Manpower Sri Lanka is not expecting a data analyst. What happens is these are third-party companies. So the company name is hidden, but they have given the advertisement things to see one of our prestigious clients who is leading a digital gift card platform is looking for a talented data analyst to work for their company, sorry, Colombo office immediately. That means that company has given the recruitment job to this particular company called Manpower Sri Lanka. So these people will, they have posted this. So when you apply, it will go to these people and they will call you for the interview. You have to answer the questions, and then if you pass their exams or their interview sessions, they will say, okay, this person, these are the scores of this person, and then they'll give the decision to that other company. So you have to be aware of third-party companies and direct companies. So most likely, it's good to like avoid a third-party company, but if there is no other option, we have to go through them because there could be communication gaps and all. How we do it. Actually, people are not looking at your talent, so those kind of things happen. Okay, to be honest, so this is my previous company. They have called for vacancy. Okay, so that is online services. Then employment agencies, as I mentioned, yeah. So that covers that. So whole concept with more and more foreign employment opportunities are being employment agencies means this thing is about if you are going to go to a foreign company, how do you go through an agency? Normally you have to have these agencies, especially Middle East and all. With more and more foreign employment opportunities are being offered, more and more employment agencies are being registered. At a time when many people are deceived by bogus job agencies, those registered as established agencies have become more and more popular. Now, if you go to Maradana, that Borel, Kunchi Borel area, there are a lot of small shops kind of thing, employment agencies working. So you have to be aware of who are the registered and authorized ones who can ensure safety, security for you. All those things are there. So they are basically again kind of what those, as I showed you, that third-party company, what they're doing is similar job role only these people are doing. They're just linking you with the employer. So in between they will get involved. Only difference between online one and this one is in these kind of physical employment agencies, you may have to pay money for you to land into a job. That's why sometimes they pay money, and you might have heard when they have these bogus agencies, they run away with the money. But mostly in the online ones, they don't ask money because money comes from the other side. I mean, the person who has posted that advertisement, they will charge it from them. Right? There are even some instances where they negotiate a certain amount of our salary to be paid as a payment for it. Right? That might not be told to us, but they might have already negotiated. So that kind of arrangements are also there. Okay, so let me quickly jump into the related discussion in the book, recommendation book. So here we will be discussing 4-5 pages quickly. So what we are going to discuss today is discuss 3 results of how today's constantly changing workplace is affecting the employment search process, and explain at least 3 things you can do to help you adapt to the changing workplace. Workplace is now always getting changed. So there's a popular saying, change is the only constant. That means change is the one that keeps on changing. Summarize 6 tasks you can do before and during your job search. So discuss 3 topics. So here's a small case study they are beginning. With this case study only they are discussing how this thing is. Stefan is Sykes Department at BC Corporate Services provides recruitment and human resource planning to help Bell Canada attract, retain, attract and retain talented employees. Bell Canada receives more than 60,000 applications. What stands out in an application, says Sykes, is clarity and simplicity. Tell me why you want to work for Bell and what you will bring to our company. Technical skills show through easily, but remember that most companies are also looking for people with leadership skills or potential, right? So some of these points we will discuss when you are writing your resume. In a resume, how do you sell yourself? How do you introduce yourself? So what are the things that attract a employer? Those things we'll discuss under that topic, most probably in the next class. Understanding about today's changing workplace. So some important points you have to note here is like the attitudes, expectations of both employers and employees are being affected not only by globalization, technology, diversity, and teams, but also by deregulation, shareholder activism. These are some additional concepts that we have to be aware of, right? So earlier days when people talked about technology, they might have talked about these things when in terms of working with others. Globalization, world is a global village, things like that. Technology, people talked about diversity, people working from different locations. But now there are other things also you have to be aware of, like when government rules come, how do you deregulate your work, shareholder activism, corporate downsizing, when, so this is happening nowadays also now. Some of the companies, they are doing a lot of downsizing because of this coronavirus pandemic. They are trying to lay off all the employees and have, because of, obviously because there is no transactions happening. Or there could be mergers and acquisitions happening. Mergers means companies coming together, 2-3 companies joining together. Or there could be a company buying another company, outsourcing, entrepreneurship. That means people starting their own business, so buying a franchise. So you will see all these things are part of this changing environment, workplace environment. So how often people look for work rather than looking for lifelong employees is one thing. Where people find work, that is also something you have to ask yourself. Whether now, how often means now it could be lifelong or it might be temporary, or they want to work on project by project. Now, different companies have different strategies. So when you are applying for a job vacancy, you have to be aware of that. Whether this is a continuous one or whether this is a contractual one, those things you have to be aware of. Because after you just looking at the job title and joining the company, you shouldn't be, like kind of felt cheated of, not I wouldn't say not cheated. I mean, you shouldn't feel bad about yourself, whether you have made the right choice or bad choice. So you have to be aware of those type of roles, what kind of job it is. And another thing is the type of people who find work. Employees today are looking for people who are able and willing to adapt to diverse situations and who can continue to learn throughout their careers. It's very difficult as an employer to have people for each and every role in the office, right? So they may expect a person with multitude of skills, right? You have to have good organizing skills, you have to have good reporting skills. Maybe if you are an accountant, you have to do accountant. So then maybe if a new person is coming, you should have the ability of mentoring, training skills. So otherwise easily they could do, what they could do is they might hire a trainer, special trainer for that and do the training. But that's not going to work for all the employees. It's very difficult for them. They have to pay money separately and all those other issues come through. So that is the kind of people these companies are expecting. Okay, before you limit your employment search to a particular industry or job, me zoom this a little bit. Do some advanced preparation. Analyze what you have to offer and what you hope to get from your work and how you can make yourself more valuable to potential employers. The similar type of questions you ask, we discussed in the other textbook. So first thing is learn what you have to offer. So this is the point I would like you guys to take a note of, you can have a note of this as a kind of a subtopic and another subtopics under that. So learning what you have to offer, you can note that down. Maybe if you are unable to write it now, I will give you the page number 310, at least for your reference, these subtopics here, right, under this topic. Then that will be easy for you to kind of revise and see, because these points most likely in the question paper it's not going to come, but it will come in a way like what you did for your assignment I gave you last week. Like there might be a question coming, okay, if you are going to advise a person to do a job, write a speech, how they have to prepare. So if you get a question like that, so how are you going to get the points? Mostly you might have to get it through these points for that kind of a question. Anyway, regardless of that, this should be also in a general purpose, should be helpful. So you have to first write down your 10 important achievements that you felt proud of. It could be anything that you have done in your personal life. Then you will begin to, once you have written those things, you will begin to recognize a pattern of skills of your own, many of which might be valuable to potential employers. Right? So personally, each and every person, even in the person in this call, I'm telling, you have to do this personally, right? At a later time, when you are free, you have to do this, and then you will get an idea about what are your additional skills you have. Then, once that is done, look at your educational preparation, work experience, extracurricular activities, right? What do your knowledge and experience qualify you to do? What have you learned from volunteer work or class projects that could benefit you on the job? Have you held any offices, won any awards or scholarships? Have you learned a second language or some other languages, right? Because if you are in a company for a long time and you are doing the same kind of work, then that is not progress, right? Maybe you may get a little bit more money, but if you are in the same role, if you are doing the same kind of thing again and again, that means it is an indication of there is no progress. So that is something you have to look at. Your education preparation, work experience, your extracurricular activities, something you have to analyze. Then you have to evaluate your personal characteristics. Are you aggressive, angry person, or you are born leader? Or would you rather follow? That means, are you ready to follow somebody else's instructions, or you want to do something on your own? Are you outgoing? Outgoing means like flexible with people. Articulate means properly to, are you able to properly talk to people? Like, articulation means now some people have this, they use good words when they speak to other people, right? So are you familiar with those kind of talking habits? Are you great with people? Right? All these things you have to take into consideration as the third step. Then, so this is about yourself, what you have to offer, what you can commit when you're going to a job, what are the sides of you. Now you're going to say, decide what you want to do. Knowing what you can do is one thing. Knowing what you want to do is another one. So keep this point in. Maybe this is another point to note down. Knowing what you can do is one thing. That is the previous set of things we discussed. Knowing what you want to do is another. Now in the future, you may want to do something else. So now you have to align these two. That means whatever you can do with what you want to do, right? So discover things that will bring you satisfaction and happiness on the job. Right. For example, you can ask questions like what you would like to do every day. How would you like to work? For example, consider how much independence you want on the job, how much variety you like, whether you prefer to work with products, machines, people, ideas, figures, like that, right? Then what specific compensation do you expect? What do you hope to earn in your first year? So you may have certain targets, right? What kind of pay increase do you expect each year? What is your ultimate earnings goal? Right? These kind of questions. Then can you establish some general career goals? So as I told, you have to have a career goal. You can't be in the same position for a long time. So consider where you would like to start and where you would like to go from there, and the ultimate position you like to attain, right? Like these dream advertisements they put on some banks and all. No, I have seen some posters. They have one photo of how they started and to show their growth. They'll put another photo with a nice coat and all, and say, okay, now this person is this. So something similar, like how do you want to land? What is your? So there is no fixed ultimate position. The only ultimate position I feel is would be where you are in a position that you run your own company and you are the CEO, right? So that would be the ultimate position, I would say. Apart from that, it will be something working under another employer. So that is another thing you have to see what you want to do. What size of company you would prefer? There is some people are interested in that. Some people like to work where a lot of people are there, or maybe few team members. What type of operation is appealing to you, right? In terms of operations, so whether it is a profit-making, non-profit organization, service-oriented ones, or manufacturing, that you can decide which sector you want to go into. Do you want regular, predictable hours, or do you thrive on flexible, varied hours, or you want to work with fixed hours? The location. Now, certain people choose that as well. Now, sometimes location, most likely you will as a first option, you might look at a location which is closer to your home. Right? Then again, maybe next level people might have different tastes. They might like to work in a industrial area. They might like to work in these skyscrapers or town setting, city. Different people have different tastes, so you can decide on that. Because these are things that might internally burn up in you, like if you don't satisfy those things later on, sometimes it will be a worry for you. I couldn't work like this anymore. But again, there is no such thing as perfect. You won't get everything at once. Maybe gradually you can work towards it. What facilities do you envision? And so in the office internal environment, what kind of facilities? Do you want a fan? Do you want AC? Like, do you want a cubicle? Quiet place to work? What sort of corporate culture are you most comfortable with, right? So whether you are working flexible to work under hierarchy, or like as I told, flat model thing, right? Do you like a competitive environment? So these are some other questions you can ask about what you want to do, under what you want to do. Right. Then third thing is, when you're analyzing jobs, is make yourself more valuable to employees. So take positive steps toward building your career. Before you graduate from university or college, or while you're seeking employment, you can do a lot. The following suggestions will help potential employees recognize the value of hiring you. That means, what I'm saying is, this is about making yourself visible. So as someone suggested, suggested earlier, now LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a good place for you to make yourself visible to the employers, right? Even before you go to the job, or when you are still studying somewhere, people can have an idea about what you are doing. So that is again going to build up a momentum. So one thing is, keep an employment portfolio. Keep samples that show your ability to perform: classroom work evaluation certificates, awards, papers. Papers means research papers. So particularly if you are a MBA student or a master's student, you will be involved in a lot of research papers. Right? Your portfolio is a great resource for writing a resume, and it gives employees tangible evidence of your proficiency. So that is one thing. Keep this thing updated. Take interim assignments. As you search for a permanent job, consider temporary, volunteer, or freelance work. So this is again to get yourself prepared for the big picture, right? So whenever you get a small work, don't ignore. Never say no. Just take that as an experience point. Work. Get an experience, then jump for the main big shot, right? So as you search for permanent, consider temporary, volunteer, or freelance work. Also gain a competitive edge by participating in an internship program. These temporary assignments not only help you gain valuable experience and relevant contact, but also provide you with important references and with items for your portfolio. So these assignments can come in different varieties. Now, sometimes these camps are what you say, boot camps. When I say camps, don't think about camps that come into your mind. I'm talking about these workshops. In IT world, we use the term boot camp. So most likely in this management and accountancy field also, you may have these seminars and workshops and all, where they call for interns to come and assist in their work, or to at least participate in the it could be audit training program or something like that. So either you will be a participant or you can assist the team who is organizing them, right? So those are called assignments. So getting involved on those kind of things will give you some kind of an idea how to work with people and all, right? Work on polishing and updating your skills whenever possible, because now when you put these assignments, when you participate in these assignments, again this is going to be updated in your portfolio. In your portfolio, you're going to mention, I participated in these things as a volunteer or as a assistant or something, or maybe I attended these conferences. So these things will give an idea to your employer that you are a person who is willing to work more, or to willing to engage in more activities. Work on polishing and updating your skills. Whenever possible, join networks of professional colleagues. So same thing again, and friends who can help you keep up with your occupation and industry. So whenever conferences are coming, or free conference, there are a lot of free conferences arranged by various organizations. Now, I don't know whether you guys got the opportunity last week, previous week, the week before and all. Continuously, there were a lot of webinars, especially related to logistics industry, how these different firms are affected. So Ceylon Chamber of Commerce was organizing a lot of webinars, all for free, right? So sometimes it may help you, it may not help you, but just participating and getting an idea what people are discussing, what are they talking about, it will update, it will give you an idea what you need to do in order to get into that industry, right? So apart from that, even after you have been hired, continue improving your skills. So after you go into the company, don't sit in the seat and make it hot. So you have to keep yourself updated, distinguish yourself from your peers, and continue increasing your value to current and potential employers. So keep learning, keep learning. If you have done, if you have finished managerial level, maybe work, target strategic level, then maybe go to MBA, right? Keep on climbing the ladder and make yourself different, make a difference in the workplace that you're working. Right? Becoming a lifelong learner will help you reach your personal goals in the workplace. Obtain as much technical knowledge as you can, learn to accept and adapt to change. So these are some other things you have to consider. Here they have mentioned some Canadian, this book is a Canadian book. I think most probably recommended by CMA Canada. That's why they have given this book also for the Sri Lankans. So in our case, even CMA has a lot of publications. There are a lot of business magazines available out there. Once you come into this industry, you can't just be alone. You have to keep learning, right? That's very important. View each job as a chance to expand your knowledge, experience, social skills. Take on as much responsibility as you can. Right? Keep yourself updated into the industry. Mostly it's talking about don't be alone. So a quick way to understand how the employment process works. So first thing, you have to build your career, identifying yourself and all those things. You have to prepare a resume, then understand the interview process, prepare for the interview, participate in the interview, follow up the interview and accept the offer if you are successful. Then again, the circle goes on. Once you go into the job, again you have to start towards updating your career. It keeps on going as a circle, right? So we sometimes call this the employment search cycle. So, okay, so again, whatever we discussed earlier, keeping yourself updated, right? This you can note it under the topic of seeking employment. So something that you do is stay abreast of business and financial news. Means stay updated. Stay updated of business and financial news. You can now, if you're today's world, you're in the online world. So there are a lot of websites you can subscribe to, giving your email address, and you will get a lot of business related newsletters, articles, publications directly to your email. Most of them are free. Also, research specific companies. Now, if you are targeting, you may have a dream. You want to go into this company, a company called XYZ. So, if I want to go to XYZ, you have to study about what they're doing at XYZ, how people are working there, and how do you want to prepare yourself to that thing. So, because if that is your dream, you have to work towards that dream, right? Then you can research. Then again, maybe you can, look at other companies as well who are similar to that company. So research and see how they are performing. Look for job openings in different company websites. So there will be very popular companies on their websites itself. Instead of going to a website like Top Jobs and all, you can directly go to their websites. Most of these company websites, they keep it updated. You can always check for the job openings, and whenever it's ready, if you have your CV already ready in hand, you can just submit it. Respond to job openings. You can respond directly to job listings, or you can network. This is what we say personal contacts in our previous book. You can get into touch with different people, even through social networking sites. Whenever you go to a conference, you can, get in touch. You can ask for business cards of different people, right? That's how you start networking. So you never know when your opportunities lie, where it is lying, right? Find career counseling. So most of these colleges and universities, they have a separate section for career counseling. People who are willing to go into the job or have no idea about what they want to do, they get this counseling. Right. So this is an example of a company. Right. So that's what I wanted to cover in terms of analyzing job vacancies and preparing for a job.